Flosstube. My name is DeeAnna and this is my channel, So Sunny Days. A little bit about me. I have a sweet husband I've been married to named Daniel. We got married in October of 2016. We have a little girl named Sunny who is 2 years old and a little boy named Boone who will be 1 in just a couple weeks. I tried to wear them out at the zoo this morning so they'd nap at the same time and it didn't happen. He never sleeps. That's alright, he's a party animal. Anyway, let's see, where was I? We have 2 dogs, a red-boned coonhound named Charlie who wants nothing to do with us. We have a golden retriever named Dexter who is constantly underfoot. We have a few cats, enough to be embarrassed about saying how many. So it's a full house and a busy life. I am stay-at-home mom during the week, and on the weekends I run my photography business. I photograph newborns, cake smashes, families, things like that. So usually nap times, if I can get them to nap together, I like to craft and decompress if I can, like cross stitch or quilt, or I like to make them outfits. And at night is when I edit photos, and while that's processing, I can usually sit and cross stitch a little bit too. So it's definitely, for me, I don't have hours that I can sit and do things. I just do a little bit every day and I see the progress eventually. But I really enjoy the idea of creating heirlooms for my family. My mom taught me to cross stitch and sew, and she learned to cross stitch from my grandmother, my dad's mom. And my Aunt Kathy also likes to craft and things like that. So I like to be a part of that, and I like to carry that on for my family. And so I'm fairly new to all of the crafting, cross stitch, quilting world, but I like the idea of documenting it and seeing progress and what I've been doing, and hear about my little ones, and maybe they can look back on these videos and see their mom. Here I am in the little years in the trenches. But anyway, let's get started. I'll show you what I've got. He's laying on the chair. So funny. We'll see if he cooperates for us. Oh, I almost fell over. I was going through my mom's craft room the other day and I found the first cross stitch I ever made. Probably when I was in junior high I made that. #1 mom. I also found a cross stitch that my aunt had finished, but never fully finished, and I thought it might be cool to do. You can see that some of the red has leaked onto the fabric and there's some stains, but maybe a Tide pen will help with that, and I thought that might be cute to finish for her. So I think what I'll do is go through cross stitch first, and then I'll show you quilting and what I have planned and things I've done and stuff like that. So for cross stitch, I don't have very many fully finished. I have, let's see. One of the biggest projects I did was called Santa Sampler. It's out of this magazine called Happy Holidays in Cross Stitch. So like I said, the first big project, I never finished it, and I found it about a year ago when we were cleaning out a room. And so I decided to finish it, and I mounted it on a sticky board, inspired by Java Girl stitches and Stitching with the Housewives. Tried to finish it myself. It's not fully done. There's still a lot of stuff I want to do to it, but I found this frame at a craft store on sale. I mounted some fabric to it and painted it white. I think it actually needs to be painted red, and then paint the beads, and then create some sort of greenery up here, or Christmassy something, embellishment up there. That's progress. That'll be my first fully finished piece I've ever done. My mom cross stitches usually big pieces, and we'll take them to the framer and have them professionally done, which I will do for some things. But other things I'll just do myself because I think it'd be cute. Another piece I finished is for my mom. It's going to be a project bag using some leftover fabric I have that I made a table runner for that coordinates with her house. I'm just gonna make her a little project bag with that. But the cross stitch part's done. A piece that I just finished is from Shannon Christine Designs. It's called Pumpkin Spice. I'm sorry that it got all tattered and beat up. Something I like to do is make project bags for my cross stitches to be held in while I work on them. Instead of buying project bags, I was like, I could do it myself. So this is the bag I made for fall. It uses the crazy quilt paper from Lori Holt. But I realized I made it too small, and so every time I shoved it in there, it got beat up, but it still works. But I had started this cross stitch on white gingham, and then I messed up so bad, I didn't feel like tearing it out, so I scrapped it. And then I found this stone gingham on Fat Quarter Shop's website, and I'm so glad I had to start over. Happy mistake. So what I want to do is find a wood pumpkin shape that will hang on a wall hanging, wood pumpkin wall hanging, and mount it on there for the kitchen. I think that would be cute. And let's see, where'd my, I'll be right back. I was feeling summery and 4th of July-ish, so I wanted to create something for that. And out of that same book from the Santas, I found this Hurrah for the Red, White, and Blue. And I made it into a little pillow with, I think it's called Rick Rack. Some leftover patriotic fabric I had, some bows and ribbons, and cherried that. It just sits on my shelf next to my TV. It's cute. Some whips I've got going are, I'm working on Lori Holt's Flea Market Flowers. I'm using all the called for colors on DMC and the 25 count Barley Lugana. Before this, I have never stitched on anything except Ada. I didn't know anything else existed. I didn't know there was different types of floss. It's a whole world out there. So, I found out I really like Lugana. It looks beautiful. It's kind of a slow go for me. I see a lot of people on Instagram who are doing this whole grid and then filling in with flowers or going color by color. I'm really afraid that I'm going to miscount and work on all of it and then have to rip it all out. So I'm just doing block by block, and that's how I'm choosing to do it. I think this is going to actually go in my daughter's room because I'll show you in just a minute a quilt that I am working on. They're not supposed to, they weren't meant to coordinate together, but they do, and I'm excited about that. I think that was cool how it worked out. And then let's see, the other cross stitch that, I started working on. I've never done more than one cross stitch at once. So but I wanted to do something different. There's so many things I want to stitch and make. So I thought I'm going to try doing, you know, the Stitching with the Housewives do the Fall Friday, Witchy Wednesday. So this is just one from Priscilla Blaine and Hands-On Design from their 2016 Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's the Halloween Seasons in Chalk. And I'm sorry, it's in the magazine digitally, so I don't have it to show you, but it's like a pumpkin that says boo, and it looks like chalk, a chalk drawing. So I think that'll be really cute if I just work on that maybe once or twice a week. Eventually it'll get done. A piece that I wanted to start, I'm having issues with the fabric, is the Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks. Let's see. I pulled it out. I got, yes, by Little House Needleworks. I got all the patterns. And I'm going to stitch it as one big piece. And I have the floss. I ordered it. I'm actually going to use fancy floss for the first time. I have never used anything other than DMC. So I'm excited about that. I also thought, since I tried Lugana, I would try something else. And so as a nod to Stitching with the Housewives, I want to try Monaco. I want to see what it's about. And not just that, I wanted to try dyeing it like they do. So I ordered white Monaco, 28 count Monaco. And they tea and coffee dye it. I didn't have any tea, so I just coffee dyed it. And I loved how it turned out. You see all the modeling? And I think that really lends itself to farmhouse. It looks like it belongs on a farm. But it shrunk it. And so now I'm afraid I won't have enough space around the edges. So I ordered another piece of Monaco that's bigger. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to coffee dye it when it comes, and then I can start that series. And I want to do, my goal is to do 1 block a month for that. And so I think it's 9 blocks. So in 9 months I'll have it fully finished for next Christmas. So I'm going to save this, and I think what I'll use it for instead is the Country Cottage Needleworks Red, White, and Bloom. I'm excited for that. I think it's beautiful. And I think it'll look good on that fabric. I also plan to stitch along with the Bats and Booze Mystery Series from Fat Quarter Shop that begins August 2nd. And I have the fabric for that, and I did get the DMC floss. I'm going to stitch that. And I ordered the, since I like quilting too, I ordered the quilt kit for it. So I intend to do the quilt and the cross stitch. I love the idea of having it coordinate for the season as decoration for my house. So that's all I have right now for cross stitch. So I'll get into quilting. He's pulling out my threads on the fabric. So for quilting, I have, like I said, I run a photography business, and when the pandemic happened, I was out of work for like a month or 2, and I couldn't do anything because we were on lockdown. So I needed a way to make income and make some money, and I could sew a little bit. And this was when you couldn't find masks in stores like you can now, but people needed them. So I decided to sew them and sell them because I still had bills to pay. So that was a way for me to keep providing for my family and helping out that way. And so with all the fabrics that I made, with the fabric from all the masks I made a little mini quilt, and this is my first quilt. I followed the tutorial from Melanie Ham on YouTube. And where did it go? Sorry, I lost my mind. Here it is. Just a simple patchwork quilt, but this is the first quilt I made. After this, I wanted more practice, and so I made a little quilt similar but with different fabrics for my daughter, Sunny. I don't have it to show because it's in the washer right now, because her new thing is to take off all of her clothes in her diaper while she's in her crib and go potty. So it's being washed. We have to start potty training soon, and I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. But she's ready. You can do it. Anywho, then I made a quilt for a friend, her little girl who is the same age as Sunny. I don't have that to show because I already gifted it, but then she had a little boy who's the same age as Boone, and I made him a quilt. I haven't given it yet. She doesn't know about it. It's supposed to be a surprise. His birthday's in November, so I want to give it to him for a birthday gift. But this is the Starshine pattern, I believe, from Modernly Morgan. And I just quilted it myself, and I found fabrics I liked from Joann's and from my stash. Hopefully that didn't ruin the surprise. It shouldn't, because to be honest, I haven't told anybody I'm doing a YouTube Flosstube video. I told my husband I might do it, but I'm pretty introverted and get embarrassed about people I know watching me. I don't know. It's easier for strangers to watch you than it is for people you know. I don't know why. Anyway. Okay. So, sorry for the shaking. I need to get a better setup. I then branched into, Fat Quarter Shop was having a mystery quilt-along last year for, I think it was for Jolly July, called the Jelly Snowflake Mystery Quilt. I'm trying to make it steady. And since it was in July, I thought it would be cool to do patriotic, but I didn't know what it was going to look like. So here's that. It's not fully finished. I used the Riley Blake patriotic fabric. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but here's that. He wants to play peekaboo. Peekaboo. I was gonna take it to the long armor, but I sewed the backing too short. I didn't leave enough around the edges, so I'll just do it myself. And I was worried about what it would turn out to look like after I realized it was a snowflake pattern. So I chose a different fabric that was more Christmassy I found at Joann's, and made the same quilt. And I did take it to the long armor, and it looks so good. You can see the quilting. It's like snowflakes and swirls. But I'll step back, and it's gold and red and shimmery. So I just need to do the binding on it, and then it will be fully finished. You should see him, he's loving it. I gave him all the quilts. I do have a quilt right now at the long armor, and it's another quilt-along. I really enjoy doing quilt-alongs because I feel like I can keep up with the pace. It's like a little bit every so often, and it's a good, nice guide for me, so I don't just like give up on it. But it's Thimble Blossom Stars and Stripes quilt, and I love this quilt, and I really wanted to do it, so I'm glad they did a sew along. And so that's at the long armor. I did make 2 extra of the flag blocks with the intention of making matching pillows so that the quilt can lay across the back of my couch and then have the matching pillows. But I didn't have enough fabric for 2 pillows, so I did send 1, and I have the other flag right here. And I think I'm gonna make it into like a mini quilt to put on my wall in my future craft room. That's the dream. I like the idea of having all the mini quilts on the wall to decorate it. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. So once I get that back, I'm going to show you. I'm so excited about that. So when I talked about the flea market flowers there's another quilt along I'm doing, and it's once a month. So you just make 2 blocks once a month. So it's more spread out, and that's why I feel like I have multiple things going, but it's really paced out, which is nice. And it's the Coriander Quilts, what is it? The Coriander Quilts Block of the Month, Bloom. Sorry, it's escaping my mind right now. But here's the blocks for that. I'm a little bit behind. I need to make last month's, and this month's just came out this week. But I thought this, funny enough, kind of goes with the flea market flowers I'm making. So this will be a quilt for Sunny when she has a big girl bed. And then I can have the cross stitch there. And so that'd be so cute for her. I'm excited about that. I also we have a family my husband works with. He works for the school system. And he met one of the teachers there gave us, they have 2 little boys, they gifted us all their boy clothes for Boone when he was born, and they've set us up for the year. Like, it was amazing. Such a blessing. So they're having a little girl now, so I'm going to make them a quilt. And she said that their theme is tropical plants, and so I just found a bunch of fat quarters like at Hobby Lobby and at Joann's, and I'm just gonna, I started it. I should probably show you what quilt I'm doing. That was silly. I'm doing the Infinite Hearts quilt, just a baby size. So I'm gonna do the scrappy version with the pinks and the greens. I thought that would be really cute. And then this fabric is going to be the backing. So I'll show you that as I go. And then I think the last thing I have to show you that I'm excited about is Back Quarter Shop is doing the Bats and Boos cross stitch and quilt along. It's another mystery one, and so I'm going to do that. I have the quilting kit fabric I ordered, have the stuff for the cross stitch, and I'll be ready. So that's all I've got today. I don't think I forgot anything. Probably did. Sorry for the fussing, but that's mom life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to being a part of this community. It's been so uplifting and such nice people already. I follow a lot of Instagrammers and YouTube, Flosstube stuff, and it's just a great community to be a part of, especially since, like I said, my mom cross stitches, but she doesn't quilt, so it's nice to be able to have somebody I can ask questions to and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye.